I'm Rendon, and this is In the Heights.
The streets were made of music.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated.
Morning, Usnavi.
In the Heights is a movie that I was semi-interested in. I saw the trailers, said, that doesn't look like it's for me, really. Not a huge fan of musicals, but I said, at least it looks fun. So let's go check it out. I went and checked it out, and I had been hearing so much about it. Test screenings, critic screenings, whatever, what have you. So many people are talking about how great it is and how much it means to the world right now, how necessary it is. And my biggest question going in was, does this matter? Is this a movie that needs to be here right now? Because it seems so many people are saying this is the movie we need right now. And honestly, maybe. I can't say much about that other than maybe. It's a movie that is clearly going to do very well. And it's clearly going to bring a lot of people together in a positive way. So maybe this is the movie we need right now, because fresh off of COVID, there's a lot of people that are split from each other, that are divided over politics or whatever, what have you. And this is just a straightforward, pure, clean, safe movie that's going to do very, very well. It has a message that's positive, and it has something to say. So maybe this is the movie that people need to get back into feeling good. I don't know. Personally, there is more that I want out of a movie than just a positive message and a squeaky clean appeal. For me, this doesn't do a whole lot. And honestly, I probably won't watch it again. I know a lot of people that are really gonna like it, and that's fine. But this is just not my type of thing.
I'm making moves, I'm making deals, but guess what? What? You still ain't got no skills.
The biggest thing, the biggest negative, really, is its inability to focus on one main character. The main character should be Usnavi, who is this charismatic, corner store owning dude who has a crush on a girl and has a dream of leaving New York to go to the Dominican Republic and overtake the bar that his dad used to own there. That's his big dream, that's the thing he wants to do, and it's pretty clear throughout the rest of the movie that that's sort of the message, and the thing that it really shoves down your throat is dreams, having dreams, following your dreams, chasing what is meaningful to you. That's its main message, that it really drives home to you, because that's all anybody ever talks about. Every character, all they talk about is their dreams and what have you. But its inability to focus on a main character is its biggest negative and its biggest drawback for me, because there is so much going on. There are too many characters, just plain and simple. There are 4 to 5 characters that have elongated sequences that don't particularly matter or affect the movie that much. There's this subplot between this girl named Nina and this guy named Benny, and these two have this romance, and it's implied that they had a romance before she got back to New York, which she does at the very beginning of the movie. And they have a lot of screen time, and Benny literally does nothing for the entire movie. His story is basically just he is in love with this girl who then decides to do something later in the movie. Their little relationship, their romance, is so underdeveloped and uninteresting. I just didn't care about anything to do with them, or any scene to do with them, really. There's a couple of dramatic points with them that you should be feeling something, but it doesn't ever amount to much. They don't sit and talk about it or dwell in that drama. There's many moments in this movie where I wanted the movie to sit in its drama, and it doesn't. There's a whole point when Usnavi is going out with this girl who he's in love with, and they go to a club and she's dancing with a bunch of guys and he feels jealous even though he said that she could, and then they lose track of each other in the middle of a blackout, and then she gets mad at him for abandoning her, and then he gets mad at her for dancing with people even though it was his fault, and then it's never talked about. The next scene between them is them just sitting on a stairway and him saying, "You're super creative and artistic. I wish I could see the world through your eyes." They don't even talk about the last thing that happened to them, the drama, the main drama between them. They don't talk about it. And I wish there was more scenes like that where characters dwell in drama and discuss it and hash it out and work with it.
I've been saving up all my pennies in my piggy bank for this day.
This is going to be an emotional roller coaster.
The best stuff in the movie is the fact that it feels like a hangout movie. It feels like a movie where you just get to hang out with these characters. And the characters are likable. That is a big positive for this movie. Without that positive, that charisma that all these characters have, this would have been a complete failure for me. The story is so underdeveloped. There are so many characters that don't really go anywhere, that it could have fallen on its face incredibly hard. But the fact that you like these characters and you like what they're doing and you enjoy being with them, it kind of makes up for it in a good way. I enjoyed some of these scenes that really don't go anywhere. I enjoyed the salon scene where they're just like talking and gossiping. It feels like you're just hanging. But this is a musical, so let's talk about the music. The music's pretty good overall. It's enjoyable. There's some pretty good, fun music numbers. Even there's one with Lin-Manuel Miranda because he's very full of himself and he needs to have a music part in the movie, even though his character is almost useless completely. But let's have a musical number where he sings about wanting to be a big shot. And then that goes nowhere. Okay, whatever. But most of the music's pretty good. My only real criticism, and it may be personal preference, is that all of it kind of has this same feel to it. Tonally, it doesn't quite fit scenes at times. There's one scene where this abuela is singing about her life. She's essentially looking back on her life before her death. And it's an incredibly upbeat song about how hard she was working to make her life good in New York and how her mother was working super hard. And it feels like this should be more of a somber song, more of a downtrodden song, but with a bittersweet note to it. And it's kind of just at a 10, like all the other songs are. I wish that this one and a couple others were downplayed a little bit. You can take in the emotion that she's feeling about looking back on her life and deciding whether she wants to continue it or to say, you know what, I've done my piece. And that's sort of what the music is trying to convey, and yet it's this bombastic, loud, in-your-face thing that's incredibly bright. And I wish that it wasn't.
A dream isn't some sparkly diamond. There's no shortcuts. Sometimes it's rough.
Yeah, I'm a street light choking on the heat. The world spins around while I'm frozen to my seat.
This is In the Heights, which overall is a movie that I thought was okay. Again, this may be the movie that people need right now to kind of get back into the swing of things. It may be the movie that they need telling them that they should not just stop their lives because of this pandemic that happened. And that's sort of almost an inadvertent thing that happens in this. There's a whole subplot about this blackout that happens, which seems to correlate directly with the characters and how they interact and in their lives. The block in New York is almost a direct reflection of the characters and how they're feeling and what they're going through. They have this major blackout and it's sort of this low point for the characters. And then they decide to not let it affect them. And as soon as they do, the power comes back on, which seems symbolic in its own way. And I think that's what this movie is generally saying to audiences. Don't let this blackout stop you from doing what you want to do. And I think that's a message that people do need to hear. And I think it's a message that is going to resonate with a lot of people. But for me, I need a little bit more. I need more out of the story. I need more out of the characters. A lot of it feels a little underdeveloped because it's spread so thin across so many different characters. But at the same time, it's a good hangout. I like hanging out with these people, even though I don't think I'll ever watch this again. So I'd give it a 6. It's a fun movie. It's fine. It's entertaining. It's safe. It's squeaky clean. If you need a family movie to go out and have a good time with, this is probably it. So yeah, that's it. Bye.